All right, so the other thing we did in chapter 5 was solving trig equations. And so we're going to be solving this in radians, and it also says that we are solving this for the general solution. So remember when we write our solutions, okay, when we have cosine, we have two answers. One we get from the calculator, and one we get is the opposite of that. When we solve for sine, we have two answers. One we get from the calculator, and the other is the supplement of that. So that's either pi minus our angle or 180 degrees minus our angle, depending on what it is. And then when we have tangent, tangent is super nice in that tangent, you just get the answer from the calculator. And then when you write your general equations, you add the period plus k. So that's either going to be 2 pi or 360 for cosine. And you add the period plus k. So that's either going to be 2 pi or 360 for sine. And then for tangent, you add the period plus k, which would be either pi or 180 degrees. And of course, we always say that k is an integer because that accounts for all of the different times we could go around that unit circle, or all of our different possibilities. So, to solve this equation, we want to get the sine part by itself first. So to get the sine part by itself first, we're going to start by subtracting 0.2. So that gives me 0.3 sine of 1/2 theta equals 0.2. Then to get my sine by itself, the sine of 1/2 theta equals 0.2 divided by 0.3. So that tells me that the sine of 1/2 theta is really 2/3. Now this 1/2 theta here is kind of tricky, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that x is 1/2 theta. So now I have the sine of x equals 2/3. And so then I do my inverse of sine. And I type that in my calculator. So I go to my calculator and clear all. I want to be in radians. And I'm going to do the inverse sine of 2/3. And I get 0.73 or 7.7297. So generally what we've been doing is rounding that to thousands. So we have x equals 0.793. So that's our first answer. And we're in radians, we're going to add 2 pi to that. And our second answer will be the supplement. So to find the supplement, we're going to do pi minus that. So I'm going to come back here to my calculator, and I'm going to do pi minus my answer. And I got 2.419. So, which would be 2.419. So that tells me that my second answer is 2.419. And if I were trying to find x, that's all I would have to do. But remember, we said that x was 1/2 theta. So in order to get rid of that 1/2 theta, what we're going to have to do is multiply everything by 2. So x equals, theta equals 2 times 0.793, which is 1.586, plus 4 pi, and then 2.419 times 2, which is 4.838. Plus 4 pi, and k is an integer. Okay?